It is the Happy Camper Radio Show, the only place to be when you're ready to talk camping. Camping is what we're about. Camping is all we talk about. I'm Skip from the Happy Camper Radio Show, and today we're going to be talking with Saskia Boogman. She is the Director of Public Relations for Kampgrounds of America. Daniel is here in the studios with us. Hello again, Daniel.
Hey, how's it going?
One of these days, he'll learn to put that iPhone down. He's like a kid. I'm telling you.
Research. All the time research.
Yep. I guess I'll believe that when I see it. Anyway, great show lined up here for you today. Stick around for it. I know you're going to enjoy it. Episode 216 coming at you right now. Happy Camper Radio. And the Happy Camper Radio Show, of course, can be heard all around the world by great listeners just like yourself. You can find us in the iTunes Store, on Podbean, MyRoguide, Stitcher, the BlackBerry Podcast Directory, iHeartRadio, Google Play Music, and of course on Spotify. Tell all your friends to tune in to Happy Camper Radio today. You can visit us on the web anytime at www.happycamperradio.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and of course subscribe to our YouTube channel. Well, Daniel, I'll tell you what, I'm ready to go camping. I really am.
I've been camping, but you don't accept that as me going to my parents' trailer.
But
I'm
let me
depressed.
tell you something. One of the guests that we're going to have on the show next week. You just got done talking to him, and man, you hit the nail on the head. You want to talk about humidity out here over on the East Coast, especially in the Atlanta area where we live. Wow. This is I want to go camping, but I don't want to go out there and sweat. I don't want to go out there and deal with the rain.
I agree.
I want to go camping. And, and I guess I'm just looking at the calendar and saying, hey, October and November are going to be here. The cooler temperatures are going to be around.
Time of year.
Yes, and
My
Skip
birthday,
will be out there with his tent.
My birthday and yours. What are the odds?
Yeah.
November and October, baby. That's the best time to camp.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'll tell you, I am really looking forward to it. And, and there's going to be a lot of good camping available year-round. There's some places that are open. There's some places, they do close. They're seasonal. But we have some secret spots of our own that we can just pack up and get away and just relax and just recharge those batteries.
That's right.
That's what it's all about, especially when we get up here in our ages.
Well, speak for yourself, Kip. I'm only 40. Come
okay,
on
well, you'll be retired before you know it. You're just out of high school.
Just out of high school at 40. Yep, come on now.
Well, anyway, Daniel, today we have a very special guest looking forward to being on the program, and I am so looking forward to talking to her. Let's go to the phones right now. Happy Camper Radio. And joining us on the Happy Camper Radio Show today is Saskia Boogman. She is the Director of Public Relations for Kampgrounds of America. Welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you this morning?
Doing absolutely wonderful. Saskia, I know you've got to have the most wonderful job in the world. We both know that campers are the greatest people that you will ever want to meet. And just to be out there, I just envision myself right now sitting in front of a campfire and just relaxing. That's just what I do when I arrive at camp.
I think that's what most people like to do, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Kampgrounds of America is a name that is synonymous with camping. What makes KOA Campgrounds the place to be for vacation travelers?
Well, we have a lot of experience in the camping brand. The first KOA was on the banks of the Yellowstone River in Billings, Montana, almost 60 years ago. We'll be celebrating our 60th anniversary next year, which is really kind of crazy to think about. Not a lot of brands last that long. So, we've been in this world from the very beginning of when camping became just a little bit more of a brand than just something people went out and did. So I think one of the things that makes KOA so great for travelers, especially people maybe that are just getting started in camping, hopefully there's a few of those people who are curious listening, is that we have that experience, and you kind of know what you're going to get at a KOA, right? There's a standard that people expect. So whenever you go to one of our 525 plus locations across the U.S. and Canada, they're all going to be a little bit different. You're going to experience something new, which I think is pretty cool as well. But you're going to really know at the core that you're going to expect a really quality stay with great people to help you out if you need it.
You answered one of my questions there. You have over 500 KOAs across the country?
Yes, and it is growing at a phenomenal rate. We're actually seeing the biggest growth in campgrounds becoming KOA, and actually new build campgrounds like we've never seen. As you can imagine, it's very expensive to build a campground from the ground up. Not to mention just the cost of the land, but the cost of all that infrastructure. But we are seeing people saying, hey, we see the popularity in camping, we see the need for more sites, and we know this is a smart business decision. So we're seeing just a crazy amount of new build campgrounds, and that's very unusual.
So when people go camping or they decide to go camping at the last minute, there's not a KOA campground that is very far away.
Yes, which is really nice. Generally, they are pretty close to wherever you might be, which is great because from research that we do know that most people tend to camp pretty close to home. I mean, I think that's one of the things that makes camping so great is you don't have to go on a long plane ride or a long drive to get there if you don't want to. So it is very convenient that, hey, if you hop on our website and take a look, there's probably a KOA within a short drive of wherever you might be.
Now, I was a young camper at one time, and my wife and I had young children. And when we went camping, as parents, we want to get there and relax because we already have our hands full, especially with the kids. When the kids get there, they're out raring to go, full steam ahead. Do KOA campgrounds offer a variety of programs and activities for youngsters?
Yeah, so KOAs tend to attract a varying group and type of camper, but I would say families is really at the core of what a lot of KOA campgrounds would cater to. So you're going to find, of course, great amenities, cool playgrounds. The jumping pillow is a huge thing at KOAs, which is just what it sounds like, a huge inflatable pillow that kids and adults, they're really fun, love to get on and enjoy. Of course, we've got swimming pools at the majority of KOAs, but you're also going to find, especially in the summer, really great weekend activities and programming that is geared towards fun for the family. So that might be a craft event, or that might be a full theme weekend around something fun like pirates or princesses. So definitely, if you're looking for something for the kids to do, you're going to be able to find that so that you can spend a little more time kicking back and relaxing by the campfire while the kids are off doing something fun.
Yeah, so when the kids are out there, when you're thinking about campgrounds and you're thinking, well, what can the kids do? You got more than just a place at KOA Campgrounds. There's a lot of things for kids to do.
Yeah, definitely. And we have some really creative KOA owners out there. I mentioned previously that each KOA is going to be a little bit different. So most KOAs are run by small business owners, entrepreneurs. So they really have kind of that autonomy to kind of make cool business decisions. I can think of one KOA called Coshocton. It's in Ohio. And the Coshocton KOA holiday is amazing at events. And actually, this year they themed every weekend around a different stop on Route 66, and a really cool summer thing that you can come back every weekend and do something new. And there's a lot of KOAs out there doing cool stuff like that, designed so that families can come in and just have a great time and not have to think about all the stress of real life.
Yeah, we've had a little taste of that here on the show because we've had a KOA campground owner from Meadville, Pennsylvania on the program a couple times, and they are that family right there is loyal listeners to the program. Yeah,
they do a great job. I also manage the KOA blog in my job, and we've definitely mentioned them on there a time or two.
Is there obviously a magical secret to the growing success of KOA? I mean, are there specific standards that a campground owner must meet in order to become a KOA affiliate?
Yes. So to become a KOA franchise, there are certain marks and things you have to hit. There are standards that we would expect, but we are going to allow campgrounds to have autonomy within that. It's not like being a McDonald's, right? When you're a McDonald's franchise, they're going to tell you exactly what to do. And we don't really want to do that. We want people to be able to own their business and create the business that they want. But one of the advantages of a KOA is some of the stressful things about owning a business we're going to help take care of. For example, you're going to have a reservation system. You're not going to need to think about that. We're going to help you with marketing support. If you want to build a new site, we have free design services so that you can have help doing that. So we're really want to be an ally for campgrounds to help make them better. So one of the things that's really important to us is helping campgrounds say, what is camping going to look like in 5 years, in 10 years, in 25 years, and say, what can we do to really push the envelope forward and keep giving campers new, fun, cool experiences and delivering a better product across all of our campgrounds.
Are KOA campgrounds available in all 50 states, including Alaska and Hawaii?
Almost all 50 states. We did add Alaska a few years ago. We've got 3 great campgrounds in Alaska, but there are 3 states where you can't find a KOA, and they are Delaware, Rhode Island, and Hawaii. Near Delaware and Rhode Island, it's pretty easy to drive to a neighboring state and find a great spot, but Hawaii, you're out of luck, but I'm sure there's a beautiful beach and other great camping that you can enjoy there.
Mm-hmm. Now, you mentioned just a second ago about, you're helping the campground owners with the reservation process. And I know that could probably, I'm just thinking here at the top of my head how confusing that could possibly be. But, in today's day and age with everybody having smartphones and tablets and things like that, that would probably be a very useful thing to have in making your KO reservations. Now, a traveler like myself, I tend to plan my trip at the spur of the moment, while many families plan a vacation well in advance. Explain to us how this reservation process works at KOA, and is it possible to secure a reservation on a short notice?
We do know that it is becoming harder to find campsites kind of the last minute. I'm sure you felt that, and I'm sure a lot of your listeners have felt that as well. I mean, last year we saw 10.1 million new people try camping for the first time, or households actually. So if you think about that, that's probably a greater number. And that was 5 times higher than in 2019. So people are coming into camping in droves. And of course, there's only a finite number of campsites, so that is growing. So it is a challenge to get a site at the last minute like you used to do. We're seeing that booking window kind of extend, and most people are booking several weeks to many months in advance, depending on where you want to go, of course. But it's always our job to say, how can we make that a little bit easier? So one of the things that we did was we added into KOA.com just this summer, a few months ago, the ability to search by a location and dates. So for example, I could, rather than say, I want to book a stay on August 6th at the Nashville KOA, I can say, I want to go camping near Nashville on August 6th, and it's going to show all the availability within my desired site type at KOAs in the area. So that way, I'm not having to go to every KOA around Nashville and get frustrated with, I can't find a site. So it is still possible to get those last-minute sites. It's just trickier than it used to be. So what I always suggest is, even with those national park and state park sites, to make your plans as early as you can. I know sometimes that's a little bit easier said than done, but it will probably help you take a little stress out of that travel.
That makes perfect sense, especially where, with so many people getting into camping. And, I wish everybody would take the time to at least experience it for the first time, because you'll probably be a long-time camper for a long time to come. Over the years, I've seen campers haul in a lot of equipment to campgrounds and campsites, and these include portable satellite dishes. I'm not one that really enjoys taking technology to the campground because I want to get away from that for a little bit, but hey, to each his own. Do KOA campgrounds offer cable and high-speed internet?
So as you mentioned, technology might not be your favorite thing, but campers in general are starting to bring that technology with them, especially over the last year when more remote work and remote schooling happened. People said, hey, I don't have to be in my office to work. I can be outside in nature and do that. So yes, it is definitely important that campgrounds are providing internet cable services. So all KOAs are required to have some level of high-speed internet. Now, I say some level because it can be very difficult for a campground that's located maybe, far out of town or has a lot of trees and a lot of obstructions on their campground. It can be difficult to provide a great Wi-Fi experience, and we know that. So you're going to find some KOAs where they have the infrastructure to provide amazing streaming internet. So you can go there and your kids can play video games if they want, and you can stream your favorite TV show. Now, if I think that is the best way to spend your time camping or not, I don't know, but that is available. And then we have other KOAs where they're able to provide a bit of service where, you can check your email, maybe check in on Facebook, but the levels are going to vary. I will say that that's one of the things that our facilities department at KOA has been working on a lot, is how do we bring great internet service to every KOA, and not just every KOA, but campgrounds in general. So, we've been in talks with some of the really big players out there who are, doing fabulous satellite internet and hopefully bringing that to the world. So I think in the future, the service will be better, whether you enjoy to use that or not.
Now, we've talked about the activities for the kids at KOA Campgrounds. What are some of the other accommodations that families can expect to find when they go to KOA?
Well, in addition to all the fun amenities and activities that I mentioned previously, what you're going to be able to find is really great sites. We're always innovating in what we're doing. One of the best examples of that is something that we've introduced recently, which is the Paw Pen site, which is just what it sounds. It's the ability to have an enclosed area near or around your entire site so that your pet can be off leash and you can really have that fun family experience. The other thing that's nice about a KOA, especially for families, is that you're always going to have an on-site camp store. So heaven forbid you forget the marshmallows, you can go and quickly pick those up. And then, of course, I think the thing that sets KOA apart more than anything is the fact that you have really dedicated staff there that is willing to help you if something goes wrong that unfortunately you might not get at your state park campground. I think there's room for all types of different kinds of campgrounds and experiences, but I think we provide something that's really helpful to campers that want to make sure that if something goes wrong, they've got everything they need right at their fingertips.
Are KOA campgrounds all pet friendly?
Yes. So every KOA welcomes pets. Most KOAs will even have accommodations, so cabins that are pet friendly as well. We know that a majority of campers choose to camp with their pets sometimes or all the time. So it's really important that we are providing those services. At every KOA, you're going to find what we call the Camp Canine, and that's a dog park area where we're going to provide fun things for them to do, a cleanup station. And then we're also innovating in a lot of ways around pets, like I mentioned previously with those Paw Pen sites, so that your pet can be a part of the family and not always have to be on a leash around the campground.
Wow, that is fantastic. Hey, are all KOA campgrounds equipped to handle large rigs like motorhomes and fifth wheels in addition to primitive camping?
So most of the campers at KOA do choose to camp in an RV. That is where the bulk of our business comes from currently. So it's very important to us that KOAs are able to accommodate large rigs and small rigs too, which we're seeing a lot more people choose to camp in smaller RVs, which I think is really great. One thing we are noticing though is those people who camp in small RVs still want all those services. They still want to be able to hook up to a 50 amp. So having something smaller doesn't mean you want to downsize that experience. And KOAs really do cater to that. So a big thing for us is making pull-through sites that are very accommodating, especially for a new RVer who, heaven forbid, would have to back in. I've seen that, cause fights in countless marriages. So the pull-through site's great for that. And then our biggest thing for our sites in general is the KOA patio site. So that's where you're going to be able to enjoy a really premium patio experience connected right to your RV space so that you can have your indoor and outdoor space kind of being an extension of your living area. And those do exist on cabins as well as tent sites. We have tent sites with patios as well. So it's a pretty cushy tenting experience, but hey, you can't always be roughing it and backpacking in the backwoods all the time.
I'll tell you, everything that we've talked about today concerning KOA has me really excited, and I know it has many of our very longtime listeners excited as well, and they're probably ready to go out and make a reservation right now. Where can vacation travelers go to find KOA campgrounds on the web and secure a reservation for an upcoming camping trip?
Well, we've got a couple of ways. Of course, it's very easy to hop online and hit KOA.com. It's going to have information on each and every one of our campsites across the U.S. and Canada. It's going to have great information about what to expect at KOA. And we have a really cool blog that talks about anything and everything camping, from where to go to how to roast the perfect marshmallow to RV tips and tricks. I would also suggest downloading the KOA app. You can find that on the Google Play Store or on the App Store on your iPhone, and that's going to have the most up-to-date information on each and every KOA. And you can also take that offline. For example, if you're traveling in a place that doesn't have the best service, you'll still be able to find out about each and every KOA on your route. And you can make reservations both online or on the app. Of course, you can always call KOAs to reserve as well, which, pro tip, is a great way if you are looking last minute and nothing appears online. I always suggest giving that campground a call, because you never know when there's a last minute cancellation. Those happen all the time. So don't be afraid to pick up the phone and say hello to any of our campgrounds.
So wonderful. I'm telling you, right now we're at the tail end of summer, and it's still not too late to get your gear together and make a reservation at a nearby campground or somewhere along the road, wherever you may be traveling. Saskia, I want to thank you so very much for being on Happy Camper Radio today. I look forward to talking to you again sometime. We're speaking with Saskia Boogman. She is the Director of Public Relations for Kampgrounds of America, better known as KOA. Saskia, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you very much. I look forward to seeing all of you guys out there, and happy camping.
Happy camping to you, too. Daniel, I really enjoyed talking to Saskia.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you what, she is just an absolute wonderful person to talk to. And, and KOA campgrounds are just about everywhere you look.
I go there every time.
I'm telling
you,
they're
the best value.
They really.
They are.
And if you're a family-oriented camper, all right, and I know you are, even though you don't have any kids, but
I have cats. Does that count?
Well, yeah, they are pet friendly. They are.
Right.
But just even if it's just you and your wife getting away, yeah, you'll find it all at a KOA campground. And and if I had young kids all over again, yeah, I'd be out there right beside you.
There you go.
But it's a great place to go camping, and you can go to the KOA website, and I'm sure you'll find a KOA campground somewhere near you. It's time now for our featured campground of the week here on the Happy Camper Radio Show.
Happy Camper Radio.
And Daniel, this week we are going to go out to the state of Missouri.
Missouri.
Yeah,
you
Missouri.
Say it like they do. Missouri.
I've got my walking dictionary and my walking pronunciation.
I know all
right here in the studio, folks.
Well, I know the Georgia and the Missouri pronunciations.
Okay. I'll go along with that. Missouri. But hey, today we're going to take you out to the Osage Bluff Campground. It's on Harry S. Truman Lake in the state of Missouri. And wow, look at it on their website, where that lake just crystal blue. Oh, man, Daniel. What a place to be if you want to just get away.
Time to jump in.
Time to go to Missouri. Yeah. Woo. All right. Hey, this campground features 41 sites with 30 amp electrical hookups, along with 20 primitive sites without hookups. Now, the amenities include flush and pit toilets, no pun intended, showers, drinking water, laundry facility, a dump station, marina, and a boat ramp. Truman Lake lies along the rolling hills of the Rocky Bluffs. Dense hardwood forest studded with mature pine trees cover the area. Wildlife is abundant in and around the park. I love wildlife, Daniel. White-tailed deers, turkey, hummingbirds, hawks, and osprey are commonly seen. Bald eagles can also be viewed in the winter months. And that's the time, Daniel, I want to be out there with my 4K video camera.
There you go.
I love bald eagles, yes. Osage Bluff is an excellent fishing location. Anglers can find crappie, largemouth bass, and blue and flathead catfish. Truman Lake is also a popular destination for tournament fishing. You can find all the information on their website. Go to recreation.gov and look up Osage Bluff in the state of Missouri. It's right there on Harry S. Truman Lake. And if you don't already have an account with recreation.gov, look for that little blue button in the upper right-hand corner. It says sign up or log in. Just go ahead and sign up. It's free of charge to go ahead and create an account. And anytime you use your recreation.gov account and book a recreation.gov campground, it makes your reservation process go a whole lot smoother. If you're in the state of Missouri anytime, always look for this particular campground if you just want to get away and relax. It's Osage Bluff. It's our featured campground of the week here on the Happy Camper Radio Show.
Skip and Daniel on happycamperradio.com.
And if you have a campground you'd like for us to feature on the program, get in touch with me, Skip, S-K-I-P, at happycamperradio.com. Be sure to include a link to the campground website. And that's going to wrap up today's episode of the Happy Camper Radio Show, episode 216. Daniel, good to have you with us again.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll tell you, I wish I had a camera right now that I could show all of our people how you're dressed.
I am dressed
You look
in my
like you
pajamas.
just got out of bed. My heavens.
Pajamas.
Whatever makes you feel good.
There you go.
Remember, friends, every pet deserves a loving home. I want you to do exactly like I did. Visit your local shelter and adopt a pet today. You can find us on the web 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at www.happycamperradio.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. The Happy Camper Radio Show is a presentation of Skip Huber Productions. I'm Skip. I am a happy camper. Daniel's a happy camper. Woo! And you better believe it, folks. We're going to do our best to make a happy camper out of you. Talk to you again real soon. This is Happy Camper Radio.
Happy Camper Radio.